Hey everyone, so I'm going to do this early in the morning, so it's probably not going to be one of my better videos, even if any of them are even any good. So we did fearful avoidant last time, which is what I will cycle back to because it's the more complex one. And it's when you come across them, you really have to put your thinking cap on and have a lot of compassion to get an understanding of it. So we'll tackle dismissive avoidant, and it's one that populates a lot of the dating sites. Essentially because of what you have to think of it. I think I talked about, the word dismissive itself. If you just think about the word, I always think of military movies of dismissed, walk out of the office, go away, and I don't want to look at you. And class dismissed, hop up, walk out of the door, keep walking, I don't want to continue the conversation. So this is an actual attachment style. So you are actually interacting with people on a daily basis who actually internally have a blueprint of being dismissive. So they do a great job at hiding it, and I'll get into where it links into narcissistic traits. Take note, traits. I'm not saying if a person's dismissive avoidant, they are a narcissist, but they have high levels of grandiose behavior. They have a high level of self-importance, and they don't have very much regard for you. And why they get into relationships is not because they actually are able to feel love. It's transactional. It's a status symbol. It's to stop nagging parents. It's climb the corporate ladder. A lot of it's different these days. A lot of it doesn't matter. In the older days, that's where it came from. Was a lot of employment was based around status symbols. If you were a married guy with kids, you would generally be given a job over a single person because you were more likely to stay in the job. So it comes from, I often cite workaholic parents. The environment of when you're a child, you are provided for incredibly well. The cars for your birthday, whatever you want, you get it. But it's transactional. It's like, have this and don't bother me anymore. I'm too busy doing what I want to do. But I had you as a little child to fit in society. Oh, you're married with kids. You must be an okay person, Why that is, and then people go, oh, you're single. Why don't you have someone? Maybe it's because someone single has been damaged so much by dismissive avoidance and even some fearful avoidance that they just don't want to go through it again. They're actually just licking their wounds and going, can I get out there and be abused again, be thrown onto the scrap heap by cold, unfeeling people who waste everyone's time by going into a dating site and making out they want a partner. I mean, there's sites out there of sugar daddies and sugar mamas. Go on those sites. If you just want transactional relationships, go on a site dedicated to having rich people looking for someone. Don't go on a run-of-the-mill site expecting to meet someone for a lot of money who is going to treat you as a princess. You're going to meet someone who does okay, who actually would rather go through life having someone with them than not. So that was long form preamble. This is a short form preamble. So we're going to cover some topics and try to roll it into a neat, concise. It won't be concise. Concise in my videos don't belong in the same sentence. It's like it's gonna be like it's like Alice in Wonderland. You don't know what's going to come up next. So we can all look for a little caterpillar talking to us. So the intro is what is a dismissive avoidant. Then I'm going to do some real life examples of it from letters from people from a dating site. And it's going to be the sort of cool, calm, dismissive, launching into the raging, abusive, dismissive. Strangely enough, there's some films that document it. I was completely unaware of this. I'm not familiar with most of the films, and I'm not entirely sure how they exhibit it. So this is basically just research. Then we'll go into what I find useful in explaining attachment style to people is the text message example of how a secure relates to a text message and the time taken to send one back and what the other person goes through, whether they're secure, anxious, dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant. Okay, so then we'll go into compatibility. I'm always interested in what works and what doesn't work. And it was quite interesting what came up of what may work. It's pretty obvious what works. You can just like package your secure 60% of the population, right? The 6 out of 10 people are secure. But for the rest of us, they're taken. They're in a secure relationship because they're secure. They're stable, they effectively communicate, they have compassion, they have empathy, they have understanding, they resolve differences. They don't exhibit protest behavior, they don't become abusive, accusative, they tend not to shut down. They're out there and go, hey, do you think you can put the dishes in the sink instead of leaving them on the table? So yeah, I can do that. It's not like, oh, I knew this would happen. You're just so lazy and inconsiderate. You just leave that cup on the table for me to come along and pick up, and it becomes a Shakespeare play. It's not. It's protest, but it's just escalating something that could be done with a polite, do you think you could, instead of an accusative, you're doing this to get at me in some subterfuge manner of just attacking me because I exist. So that's the compatibility. So we'll look briefly at narcissism versus attachment style. It's such a tricky one because there is not much on it. And for me, it's debunking a lot of the social media groups where I'll get into it later, but there's a real lot of misnaming, a real lot of just off-the-wall diagnoses going on, which just couldn't be further from the truth. It's a complete lack of understanding. And honestly, it's just willful ignorance. And it's just like, I'm the victim, so they have to be a narcissist. Because it's like the catchphrase of this generation, isn't it? You're a narcissist. Oh, my coffee's warm and not hot. You're a narcissist. You just hate me. There couldn't be anything else. So they have to be the narcissist. So then we'll look at culture, cross currents, the way it interweaves into everything. One of the nicest comments I heard was culture defines communication. Really, really good phrase. Like I couldn't word it better, but the way people speak to each other is different to the way people in Australia speak to each other, which is different to the way Americans speak to each other, which is different to the way that Mexican people speak to each other, etc. So when you have two cultures talking, you have culture clash. You have it. And then you navigate that on top of or interweaved with the attachment style, layered with the love language, layered with the mental health, layered with the personality. But the personality is predominantly the blueprint from the attachment style. So I was going to name this video the many faces of a dismissive avoidant attachment. And I had a preamble, and I've already done. I'm not going to repeat myself because I repeat myself enough without reading off a script and saying the same things 10 times in a video. But it might help reinforce it for people that like to follow along. So I'm reading a preamble that actually AI wrote. So AI is an artificial intelligence. It doesn't feel, it has no emotion, but I sometimes get annoyed that it can't actually follow simplistic commands. I ended up trying to mock up my own script. I generally don't have a script, but there's a lot in this I want to cover. So if you've ever thought, why did they pull away when things were good? Or how can someone seem kind and cultured but go cold when they get close? This is for you. I don't know. To me, that reads more fearful avoidant, but this is AI. So, and it can get things wrong. It tells you that. So, my understanding is that dismissive avoidant isn't kind. It's not, they're not kind. That word shouldn't be in that script. I'll go back and talk to it and go, why did you put that in there? And go, I apologize, that was wrong. It can be wrong. It absolutely can be wrong. It will give you references. So we're going to go through examples of the text messages, which I'll do next, and all the rest of it. So just a little snapshot, what dismissive avoidant really means. High value on independence, self-reliance, control of time and space. Sounds great, doesn't it? That's what a lot of women want. Want that strong, independent, self-reliant man. I won't have to baby him. I won't have to look after him because he's just what I want. Go and get him. Go and get your dismissive avoidant and then expect to have a completely unemotional relationship. And if that's what you want, go for it. Don't expect flowers. Don't expect I love you. Don't expect kindness. Like it said before, it's wrong. They're not kind. But you can have it, but you're gonna live up to their high expectations of you. You can sit there and go, amazing, that's just what I want. But do we sit there and go, am I what they want? A lot of us don't seem to do that. We sit there and go, they are what I want. And you might think, I can give them this, but it will probably be enough because you won't measure up to their grandiose, slightly narcissistic tinged estimation of themselves as being grandiose. Just think of the people in the world at the moment, whether it be presidents or multi-billionaires who have climbed their way to the top, leaving a trail of carnage behind them, will stand there and say how incredibly awesome they are, and you look at them and go, I wish I could be that person. And go and look at how many marriages they've had. And it'll be a lot more than one. So if you want to go down that road, go ahead, but expect to be number 7 or 8 or whatever, but you won't be number 1 and stay number 1. It's statistically proven. It's not an opinion. So closeness of the narcissist. Sorry. It's just sometimes interchangeable. I won't use the word narcissistic in front of it, but dismissive avoidant. Closeness, potential loss of autonomy. So intimacy triggers cooling or delay. So they are the ones I've said in prior videos. Okay. So if this is you, it might work. We're getting the compatibility later. But you need to understand they will walk away very, 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 very easily because they are dismissive. You can attempt the relationship with it. And if you are okay with coldness and distance, and it could be transactional, I'm not sure how giving they are though. They might be like, you're working, you don't pay for it. My money's my money, your money is your money. They won't buy into that your money is your money and their money is your money. It's not going to happen with a dismissive avoidant. But they're the glorious independent people. You know why they're independent? Because they don't want to share. So intimacy triggers cooling or delay, which means if it just gets a bit awkward, they'll just be like, you know what? It's not working, hey? I'll get my stuff and go. Don't want to have the conversation. If you go, what? Let's go. It's not working. See you later. It's like, it is that simple for them. Why? Because they're not emotionally attached to them. But you're literally burdensome to them. You'll fill a role for a determined amount of time, and when you become more of a problem than a glorification of their status symbol, you are just gone. So they're not plotting. The nervous system learned distance keeps me safe. Okay, so maybe it's time for us to show some compassion that it comes from their attachment style. So they're deliberately not being mean. They are doing it from the only way they could survive was I can't rely on mummy and daddy to come in and comfort me. I'm going to comfort myself. And if I rely on mummy and daddy who are too busy earning all the money to buy me nice things, who never hug me, who never give me love, and that's what a marriage is to them. That's their role model. Mummy and daddy, quick kiss on the cheek. Oh, they might go to bed, they might have some intimacy and then go. They'll just go, over needs met, gone. There's no, thanks for that. That was really lovely. You made me feel good. It's like, I need to get this out of me. Done. See you later. And lots of couples sleep in different beds. There's ones who, I can't sleep with someone. Do you want to look at what their attachment style is? Because you'll find like secure and anxious attachments, love, physical touch and affection. They want to spoon all night. They hold hands all the time. You're dismissive, so don't touch me. I don't know what that touching stuff is. It's like, maybe somewhere we can plot. If they're hugging and hand holding, generally speaking, might go secure, anxious attachment, fearful when they're in their anxious state. I've experienced that. So, warmth often shows in acts, helping logistics, not emotional disclosure. Yeah. So if you want someone to do your books for you, or tell you what colour paint on the wall's the best one, get a dismissive avoidant. And don't expect any emotion, because there's actually not in their vocabulary. They actually see emotion as weak. You're weak. away from me. You are weak. We're not having any of this emotion in our lives. That's just a waste of my precious energy when I could be doing something else. So I will pause this to get. No, actually, I don't have to. I have it in front of me. So let's go on to the letter reading. Okay, so I'm not going to mention names, but this is from my past. But it's stuff that swings around in my little noggin as examples. I mean, I'm not, don't worry, I'm not carrying trauma from it. It's experience. It's a learning curve. So don't go copy pasting this and searching out this human, right? This person is actually okay. They're actually calm and collected, but they're dismissive. So grandiose behavior. Dismissive avoidant profiles on dating sites. In real life, they will tell you how incredibly awesome they are. They will tell you, I will make you happy. I will be the best person you've met. I will fulfill your needs and desires. I will this. I have done this. I own this. I am a prize catch. Line up and come and get me. And you can fall for it. It is good. I'll go for it. And then welcome to your own private chaos, where he's none of those things. I take it back. He is successful. He is successful and he could be rich. I take it back. He is those things, but in any form of emotional support or affection or love that's offered, he is not family material whatsoever. But if that's who you want to go out with them. I'm not going to comment on who you would be if you're going out with them. You can work it out yourself. So here is like the bait. Here it is. It's like I'm going to sell myself because the dismissive says I am awesome, and I need to have someone hanging off me so I fit a role in society. And you know what? I wouldn't mind having someone around to tell me how awesome I am, because it's pretty good for me to hear. And that's why you're there. So you can go, oh, you're so amazing. I go, of course I am, but thanks for telling me. So here is someone, this is the illusion. This person actually thinks they are this, and I'll read a letter and you'll see the dichotomy that exists in it. So this is someone online. I am sociable, calm, gentle, caring, and a good listener. I enjoy drawing. I can sew and knit. I love to grow flowers, cook healthy food, bake bread. I lead a healthy lifestyle. I read a lot of books on medicine, psychology. Remember that? She's saying she reads psychology, and then she'll debunk me for researching psychology later, which will be the example of dismissive. Okay, so she's saying she reads psychology books and history. She's saying she wants to devote the next few years to my family. She's looking for a man between 48 and 60. Now, I don't know if she says, oh, okay, this is nice baiting material. So she wants someone who's tired of loneliness and mature enough to start a family and be responsible for it. So she's saying she doesn't like parties, noisy companies, and nightclubs. She likes quiet family evenings, walks together, holding hands. I would always call her out on that one. Creating coziness in the house, classic family values are important to me in relationships. For her, family is comfort, stability, and trust, common interests and moral principles. I have noted that she has no career ambitions and feminism. She believes that the main purpose of a woman is a strong family, She's not looking for a husband with the purpose of moving to Europe. She says they can live together in Russia. Let's decide together. So, so this is her wants, okay? This is the dismissive avoidance wants. She wants someone who is kind, honest, decent, responsible, leading a healthy lifestyle, completely and look, the narcissistic trait. So she wants someone who will entrust themselves to her attention. She reads it, entrust yourself to my attention. Okay? Then I will be glad to meet you. So she reiterates kind, honest, decent, responsible. If you lead a healthy lifestyle and completely entrust yourself to my attention, I think I need to get a better understanding of what that she means. Entrust yourself to my attention. Then I will be glad to meet you. I'm not sure if she means her attention to you or your attention to her. I might have to clear up how that reads. So she's the one that gave me that amazing quote, which I will be forever thankful to a Slavic woman saying to me after I said, and I don't want to make it Slavic women, let's just make it women. So I spoke about the amount of damaged women online in dating sites who have left some abusive relationship or who walked away from a marriage because of whatever the reasons. Then they've not healed themselves and they want to jump into the next one and find some guy that is the unicorn that's going to repair them, that's going to heal them. They go, well, I know what I don't want. And that's good. You sort of start knowing what you don't want. But then I like to think what they want doesn't exist on planet Earth. Maybe a certain billionaire could start a dating service up and start going out into the planets, because human beings don't exist on what a lot of damaged people want. You're going to have to bite the bullet and go, if you want to be with someone, be with them and take on their trauma, take on their attachment style, take on their love language, take on what music style they like. They are a human being. You are in a partnership. It is an equal exchange. The relationship isn't there to please you. It's mutual. If you want someone to please you, go and think about getting a dog. Seriously, get off a dating site and don't go, I want a man who is going to do this and this and this and this, provide for me, not give me trouble, not want to have intimacy with me, not cuddle me, not touch me. Don't get a human. Please don't waste your time and the other partner's time. It's the same as whatever gender you are, just don't do it. If you want your choice of gender partner and your expectations are that, get a dog. Seriously, get a dog that gives you unconditional love, because humans give conditional love. So the way this reads out, that's where I ended up doing a little thing called how 100 years of stoicism has led to generations of traumatized women unable to build healthy relationships. And this woman agreed. She said, Bradley, I see these people. Actually, I No, no, that's all right. So I wasn't going to use my name in any of this stuff, but it'll come out eventually. So she goes, I see these women you talk about all around me, successful, independent. Generally, they've got kids, right? So they're actually quite bonded to their children sometimes. But she says it, the glorious words of completely incapable of building a relationship with a man. Sit there and think about it. Women and men of the world, sit there and think about that statement. You think you might want to find someone, but are you capable of having that relationship? Now, or you could be dismissive, avoid, and go, oh, of course I am, because I'm just amazing. Just think about age brackets. I mean, I'll go off on a tangent. Why not? So when you are a male and you are 45 plus, more likely 50 plus, you will encounter in women, and you women will willingly discuss these topics with you of the human condition of women of menopause. So you are going to be, as a male, you are going to deal with their attachment style, their love language, their social status, their past trauma, and then welcome hormonal disruption of brain fog, of temperature changes, of mood swings on top of it. But these women, and I have to say that they're women and not gender bashed because men don't get menopause. Okay? So it's not an attack on women. It's an attack on the gender that suffers menopause. So they're sitting there being moody online and being dismissive on top of it and being abusive on top of it. And then they sit there and go, why can't I find someone? Why is it so hard to find someone? All these men, they're just so difficult, they're so strange. I'm just amazing. Why aren't they lining up? Because you're not in those. Because you're delusional and think you are amazing. Because if you were truly amazing, you would be snapped up. You would be walking down the aisle. You would have guys dropping to their knees marrying. But you would go online and be abusive. You would call people out on being emotional. You would call people out on being needy and go, what's what? So, example in case, me being me, I happen to actually think if you have a beloved and you are in love and you care about the person, you would like to communicate on a daily basis. Now, a dismissive avoidant will think that's strange. A secure person won't, because they'll want to wake up in bed with their loved one, smile at each other, say they love each other, sit down and have breakfast and a cup of tea together and talk about their day. Why? Because they're secure. Because they've learned that that's what love is. Maybe dismissives just see a wedding and don't understand it's based on love. Maybe they just think the marriage is based on cooperation and transactional exchanges. It probably is. They're so distant from it. So my example is this. So I had said to someone, and this was quite a while ago, okay, so it's not that current. But the example of the dismissive is this. Straight away they want you, actually, it's funny, this mirrors another one. It's like, How dare an old person like me, a dinosaur, who lived through Fred Flintstone, and I had to pedal my car to work and ride a dinosaur on the off days. So how dare I that lived in the Stone Age have long hair? Well, I grew up in a Western democratic capitalist society where I was encouraged to chase my goals and be myself. So thank you, capitalism and democracy, for enabling me to be old and haggard and have long hair because I so choose to. Because I've been told that that's what I should do. I should choose what I want. So I have these women who are not only very attractive, might I say, in their 50 plus bracket. And one goes, what a strange hairstyle. And I'll get to this other one later. Priceless conversations. So you're not Ozzy Osbourne, you know. It's and it's like, think about it. Old men die long hair. I'm mentally ill. Somehow I end up mentally ill. But I mean, just the brazenness of these women, just the brash, harsh, unemotional, unempathetic, uncompassionate manner of just launching in at some stranger on the internet with those comments. And I actually think it's completely okay to do that. They didn't have the mother that said, well, little child, if you don't have something nice to say about someone, don't say it. They never had parents. Or if they did, they were like, well, I won't swear. But it's like, whatever, mum, I'll do what I want. So this one, I'll quickly get back to this other person that I read profile. So I said, I would expect, if I was going to jump on a plane and see someone, I'm like, I would expect, if I'm doing long distance dating or anyone's doing long distance dating, you generally, because you're not physically seeing them every day, your compensation for that is daily contact. Unless, you're out of range, bones broken, in hospital. The me and my attachment style likes that. It's nice if you're in love to get a good morning, a good night, how's your day, what's your mood? I'm going to this tonight, what are you doing? A conversation, okay? A little bit of knowledge about someone that you intend to spend the rest of your life with. So this other one was like, basically wanted me to go see them. There's two of them a bit similar, actually, think about it. So, and I just said, well, I would expect to have some communication before I did that. And I said, every day, video calls, etc. And this is the answer, okay? This is the answer from someone that says, why do you have a strange hairstyle? And when I said, I'd like messages every day, they said, are you joking? Are you serious? Don't you? A message every day. And it was like saying, can I pull a tooth out of your head? It was like the most extreme comment I could have said to this person. Now, a whole bunch of you out there could be going, well, what's wrong with that? I don't need a message every day. Well, maybe you could go and look at what your attachment style is. Maybe you don't. But what about the ones that are set to do? Well, if you're going to marry someone, aren't they supposed to be someone special? If they're not special, we could just walk out on the street and go, hey, yeah, let's get married. Don't know anything about you. Don't need to even say hello. Let's go down the aisle right now. If you're looking for a partner in a relationship, it needs to be a little bit different from someone walking down the street. That's what makes it the relationship, in case you didn't know. It's not. It's like maybe there's too many dating sites where you just look online up and go, oh, those two run off together. Maybe that's what you guys think it is. Maybe it's like, I'm just going to pick someone out of the queue and go marry them. I don't know what their music tastes are, what their food is. I don't know what their love language is, their attachment style. But I want to say I'm married because I was on that show, and then mum will stop badgering me for grandchildren. But I probably don't have any grandchildren because I don't know what love is. I probably don't even want to be intimate with the guy. So you got someone who's said, you got someone who's going there, sociable, calm, gentle, caring, good listener, enjoy drawing, so and knit, la 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 la, reads medicine books, psychology books. So they want the kind, honest, decent, responsible man. So this person, they see themselves as this: sociable, calm, gentle, caring, good listener. This is, they look in the mirror and they see this person. Now, this is who the person is. Okay? So I wrote a big diatribe to them about, we had really lengthy conversations. Yeah. So I said, I'm working on myself on childhood trauma and try to better myself every day and acknowledge what my faults are and work on them. I like to be progressive. I like to be a little bit better tomorrow than what I was today. Okay? That's my personal philosophy on life. I don't like to stay the same. Well, you know the things about be a better version of yourself, and that stuff. I've bought into that. So I just like to be progressive. Like if I play guitar, I would like to be a little bit better tomorrow than what I was today. I can't see a point in going backwards. So I told her I use artificial intelligence, okay? And I've done some therapy on myself and joined social help groups, which can be a minefield. So this is probably really dragging on. It's like I'm not point two. Oh, I am like my hero YouTuber. I will mention his name one day. I bet if you follow this guy, you're going to go, this guy is just a carbon copy of him. But so the person who thinks they are that wonderful, calm, gentle, caring, listening person writes this. Don't get carried away with artificial intelligence because it's not it that talks to you, but those who stuff a bunch of necessary and unnecessary things into the computer. With the help of AI, you can easily influence people and answer their questions by influencing their minds. But these answers are generated by AI only from information embedded for a specific purpose by people hired for this purpose. And soon AI will answer exactly as the AI sponsors need. That you need to eat crickets and beetles, that you don't need to start families and children, that America won World War II, and other nonsense. In AI, you will never find facts that the sponsors don't need. Okay. Point one. Dismissive. How dare you consult artificial intelligence? Because it is rubbish. It is programmed by people to do something. And to me, that is, what's the word I can use? I don't know if you know everything else going. It's complete bunkum. It's complete, as the English would say, bollocks. She says AI is nonsense. I say what she says about AI is nonsense. AI can get things wrong. Let me say it right up front. However, it has access to scholarly articles. It will give you references from PhDs. It will give you evidence-based research. It will give you the sources it's citing. Then it's your job to go and read those documentations, make sure they're peer-reviewed, and even seek out university-taught information. Okay? So in this day and age of conspiracy theories and self-importance, everyone likes to dismiss what the other one says. But, like I said in my very first introduction, if we don't want to agree, let me see if I've got one. We don't want to agree that that's a glass. If we don't want to sit together and go, that's a glass with some water in it, okay? We want to say, so if someone's out there saying this is an elephant and someone's saying it's a dog, I mean, that's the world that you want to live in. Go ahead and think it's an elephant. But if I want to have a conversation, go, can I have a glass of water? I'd like someone to walk over to the sink and give me that thing I held up before and not bring me back an elephant. So I disagree with her stance on AI, and it's dismissive. She's not willing to look at what AI is and question whether she could be wrong. She's just dismissing what I've said. Then she goes on to tell me, this is the kind, caring, good listener, debunking and dismissing me, right? You will never find facts that sponsors don't need. That 1,000 years ago in the territory of Russia, there was a country called Gardarica. And under Rurik, in the 9th century, there was an air force and warriors flew on Vimanars from all over Europe to Turkey. And now these Vimanars can be found all over Eurasia. You need to read books. Oh, okay, so she's telling me. I'm being told by this kind, caring, good listener who reads books on psychology that I need to read books by worthy scientists, and the world will open up new colours for me. Leonardo da Vinci, one person or a brand, and how many people worked under him? Why do medieval paintings depict moments of the Great Flood? Is it true that quite recently, about 300 years ago, something like another flood happened on Earth? Oh, I remember reading this to a friend. Why do so many houses in different cities of Europe consist of lower and upper level, and it seems the lower level floors after the disaster were simply covered with silt, and the new ones were built on the remaining parts of the houses? Why are there so many identical houses and neighborhoods in the city of Russia and Europe? Now, for Russia, I would have just hazarded a completely just off the cuff answer of the USSR, just wild stab in the dark there. That maybe that's why the houses look the same. But, you know, just Russian doesn't seem to actually know that. So, was there once a single country whose border stretched across from Italy to but was Peter the Great during his journey through Europe replaced by non-Russian rural Russia? Because Russia can only be taken through internal strife but not war, ? So what I'm getting to, I mean, she gives all those examples. There's nothing wrong with those examples. There's nothing wrong with them. And there's some quite interesting things in there. So she then goes on to, there's someone who openly says on a profile they read books on psychology. But that same person says to me, there are so many interesting things in the world, not to mention working on yourself, studying the psyche and psychology, working through past relationship. You have studied this topic enough and are very fixed on it. Relax. Study Russian history. Maybe you'll be interested in something I have listed. And let go of the old, stop torturing yourself with self-improvement. and you have something to tell others, you'll definitely have a beloved woman who will listen to your knowledge of the world, listen to music, and together you will study this world further. So forget about the relationship with your father and previous hobbies. You've already worked through all this enough. Don't drag this into the future, otherwise it will never come. Good night. I need. So I'm sorry, I need a cup of tea out there. I need a sip of tea. Is that a good example? Is that a good example? Me on the woman on the profile, kind, caring, good listener, reads books on psychology, and whatever the other stuff was she read. Look, I'll scroll up and get back to it. This is your dismissive, textbook dismissive, textbook, right out of the book. It's like the profile reads social, calm, gentle, caring, good listener, and enjoys drawing, sewing, growing flowers, read a lot. Tell me she reads a lot. Not just a few, a lot of medicine, psychology, and history. But if I talk about these topics, I am told to stop reading topics, to forget about, I just forget about self-improvement. So maybe I'll just traipse down the shop and buy some vodka and just sink into a alcoholic stupor. And that'll bring me around to why are there so many alcoholics in Russia, because of the stoicism, and your women, you want your stoic men, and then you complain that they're the drunk, lazy husband. Maybe if you opened up and said, hubby, you look a bit sad, talk to me. Maybe I could have avoided the drunk, lazy Russian husband that you had to leave. Maybe you created the monster. You actually had to leave. Maybe you had some responsibility in it. That's a bit of a coming into the rant of my era. It needs to be said. It's not the men who are at fault. Some of them are, but why are the women devoid of any responsibility in this? Why are they the delicate little flowery angels that have not a single solitary thing wrong with them? It's like we are human beings and we have a different gender, but we like to think we think differently. We don't. We actually don't. Why do you think there are people who have issues with gender identification? Because I don't even want to go down the road. We're not going down the road. But just think about why some people think they should be something else. Because their minds are the same. It's men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Really, are we? We're probably actually not. So that's case study 1. So case study 2 is fun. But I'm wondering if I need to break this. This is tough going for you people out there. So there's another one from this woman. Actually, I think I need to I am going to pause for a little bit and come back because I am a little emotionally drained after that. I went through I just went through the dialogue between me and that last woman I was talking about. There was one point that was relevant that we all need to have a think about if we are in the mature age bracket. And this is a quote from that same woman, right? I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not. I'm just saying she's dismissive avoidant. How hard it is to find the right person in the second half of life. On the other hand, behind you is a crushing experience, a habit of loneliness, and a strong desire to be needed by someone. And you are no longer a women festival. You have your own age-related illnesses, problems with sick parents, and in their case, a son. And yes, this is a quote. That's great. And yes, I understand the women you write about. They are next to me smart, well-mannered, beautiful, and completely incapable of building relationships. So all you women out there that think it's a guy bashing on you, it's a woman said that. A woman has come out, and I will be eternally thankful for that comment, that it's not the women. It's not all of the men, okay? Of course, men are horrible, horrible, dirty creatures. Some men are absolute pigs. Some men are uneducated. Some men are alcoholics. Some men are willfully stupid. But there's an awful lot of men who are not those things, who want a relationship and then have to deal with the trauma of the woman. It's not all of those men are the problem. It could be, and I'm putting it out there, the woman. So it's like, so for those of you who think I am just like victim blaming, I'm not. I am trying to exhibit the fact that if you want your relationship, do some work. Actually have a look in the mirror and go, I could be a little bit better in that area. I could have some more understanding. I could understand a man's wants and desires. I mean, let's get on to physical touch. I was amazed at Gary Chapman's book. I just started reading that book going, this is just fluffy, marshmallowy, really nondescript coffee shop, like anecdotal stuff. And until I got the physical touch, I thought, Gary, you won me over. This guy is actually a Christian. He talks about intimacy and physical touch. He actually talks about, in men, he actually talks in explicit terms how, I'll just say the word, how the men's sperm builds up in him and cries for a release. And then it's expressed through what you expect it to be expressed through. So he's married to a woman who is his wife, and that's part of the deal. And then you just get these women going, we just want one thing, we just want one thing. But when it's that primal drive, it might be that one thing. But if you're in a loving, caring relationship, intimacy also is, it's been proven, it's bonding. If you are having sex with your partner and you want to call it making love, it's the closest you can get to them. So the women out there who just want to go, men want one thing, you're probably actually dismissive avoidant, and you're probably actually incapable of emotion. So you might look at it as some dirty, horrible thing, but there is like 60%, even more. Factor in your anxious, which is 20, that's 80%. Factor in your, if you got 17, if you've got 7 to 15% of fearful avoidant, let's factor in half of that, another 8%. 86% of the world actually doesn't see making love as men wanting one thing. They see it as a beautiful consummation of their relationship, that they can share that intimacy. So for the rest of you, that 15% who just want to brandish and just want one thing, you're a minority. You are that much. The rest of the world see it as beautiful, romantic relationship bonding. Okay, so I will hark back to that. I will not buy in to rhetoric Because it's so easy to go, women just want one thing. What's that? Money. Just want money. Oh, we women just want money. That's all I want the guy for is just money. They just want to be taken care of, and I don't have to give anything because that's all a man's good for is money. And of course that's not true, right? But if you wanna get into slanderous, like willfully ignorant branding of men wanting one thing, the men will come back and go, you just want money. So why don't we just drop the fighting and start getting along together? So case number two, and the ones of you that hate me will probably want to buy this a 3-course meal. So someone liked my profile on a profile, so on a dating site. I wasn't physically attracted to the woman. I thought, what's it gonna hurt? Maybe making a friend or just saying hello. So I wrote. So I'm sorry, I should have pulled up a screenshot, but it's pretty entrenched. What a tiny little brain. Anyway, going back to this, think about it. Think about it. I'm there doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. The woman contacts me. Ticks like, I like this guy. Might not have read a profile. I don't know. When she looked at her picture, she was seeing this. And what she do? She goes, says, why do you have dyed long hair? Oh, it's attractive. So, sorry, I mustn't know what the word light means because that's that's not what I like ice cream. I buy an ice cream. You don't buy an ice cream and throw it in the bin because it's horrible. So I had to put up with this. I only said a couple other words. So I thought, she can have her opinion. She can have the opinion. So, I might think she's not physically attractive to me, and I can have that opinion. So I thought maybe we could have like an intellectual conversation. She probably isn't stupid. And then, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to stop it and find a profile because I think I need to actually give a backstory to this.